Hello, listeners. We're all here to have fun.
But we'd like to take a moment to encourage you to always drink responsibly.
Never drink and drive.
If you have a complicated relationship with alcohol or other substances and you want to talk about it,
you can call 1-800-662-4357 for support.
Thank you for listening.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have liftoff.
Welcome to Matt and Friends Drink the Universe!
This is the Booze Battle Arena, the place prolific inebriates and their drinks of choice face off in the pursuit of eternal glory. The universe is a mysterious, vast, and often violent place. So too are the battles fought in this hallowed space. Temporal tastes that transcend space and time will collide in a spectacle to determine which sip is the most stellar. Once again, we're pouring our way through the universe to answer a question that no one is asking. It's time for a booze battle! Budget beer bracket.
Welcome to the oddly sticky floors of Hop Stadium on the historic and scenic grounds of Ethanol University.
We're thrilled to be broadcasting again here on BPN 5 Das Fünf.
I'm Stephan Weasler.
And I'm Chucky Roberts.
We're about to witness the greatest event in collegiate intramural inter-apartmental drinking, the Budget Beer Bracket Booze Battle. The contestants bummed a ride to their favorite six-pack stores and brought back the best of the bottom shelf.
And these beers won't drain your wallet, but they'll certainly cost all of your self-respect. So, without further delay, let's hear the lineup. Starting with Lion's Head at 5.0%.
Old German, 4.7%.
Pabst Blue Ribbon, 4.7%.
Busch, 5%.
Steel City Reserve, 8.1%.
Miller High Life, the champagne of beers, 4.2%.
Genesee Cream Ale, 5.0%.
Natural Ice, 5.9%.
There you have it, Stephan, and with that we go down with our host with the most. Some call him the Space Cowboy, some call him Maurice, but we know him as our friend Matt. Please take it away.
Welcome back, everyone, to Matt and Friends Drink the Universe. Today we have the Budget Beer Bracket Booze Battle.
Woo!
Whoa.
We're going to go around the table. We're going to introduce ourselves, and we're going to tell you what budget beers we are bringing to the battle.
Hey everyone, Chris back here. I brought two of my favorite beers that are terrible.
Whoa, favorite. That's a strong word.
I got Lion's Head.
Oh, that's a solid beer.
Everybody's favorite. And then I brought the best, worst beer on the planet,
Go on.
PBR.
Listen,
Yeah, PBR 's
I
good.
love PBR.
I know.
So
It's a great beer.
based upon what I already know, I'm saying that PBR is the early favorite in this battle.
As a NEPA college guy, I know my way around
Ooh,
a few
a NEPA
Kings.
man.
Did we say what
few,
universities we
Lions
attended or
Heads.
colleges we attended as well? Do we want to shame
that's
our
fine.
institutions of higher learning?
King's College is right down the street from Lions Head.
Nice.
Okay, okay.
I am Big Z back again. I've got Busch
Bush.
Pounders, straight Busch, no lights, just Busch, and
Some
Ye
people are
Old
into that.
German Lager, fantastic beer.
Never heard of it.
Yeah.
I've never had that.
Oh my, you're in for a treat.
Never had it in my
Am I?
life.
Am I in for a treat?
Oh my
you-
God.
You might be surprised. Ye Old German.
Hey, we might be. I'm not
Yeah.
familiar with Ye Old German. Hey guys, it's Rob. I'm here with Miller High Life, the champagne of beers.
You have to say champagne.
Champagne of beers, apparently. And Steel City Reserve. Strap in, boys. It's going to be a long day.
I am most nervous about
Why would you bring that?
the Steel Reserve.
It's 8.1, guys. It's 8.1.
I'm
and
most
$2 a
nervous
can.
about that beer.
It's going to be rough.
And I'm your host, Matt, and I brought one of my personal favorites that I actually really enjoyed in college when I couldn't afford anything better, and that was Genesee Cream Ale, and also Natural Ice, which
Natty.
which I've drank a large quantity of
Listen,
at some fraternity parties.
As
Indiana
a
University.
Penn State boy, Natty Ice is
Every Pennsylvania.
it's a Penn State
Yeah.
staple.
It is Indiana University of Pennsylvania.
No beast.
Natural Ice showed up all the time. I hate to say this, but I think as much of it went into me as came back out of me later. So,
Oh boy.
Yikes.
Probably accurate.
yeah,
All right, Matt, why are we here with a ton of terrible beer?
because I thought it was a good idea when we were planning out this podcast. I'm really starting to question it right now as I'm staring around the table. But what we have done is created a bracket, and we're going to do some beer tastings here head to head of these phenomenal drinks that everybody has
Oh,
brought
boy.
today. And we're going to see who survives the budget beer bracket.
This is really for science.
Yeah.
This is-
I mean,
This
think
is a noble.
we're doing the Lord's work here, guys.
Absolutely.
Science.
Yeah, I have to agree.
That's the most questionable science of the entire podcast.
I don't
so
know
far.
that it
You know.
is. I think that people want to know these things.
I'm not sure anybody wants to know what's about to happen right now, but let's get into the bracket. The first pairing that we have head to head will be Lion's Head and Genesee Cream.
Oh, shit.
Oh my God.
Whoa.
The second pairing will be Pabst Blue Ribbon and Natural Ice.
Oh God.
I'm feeling good about that one.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah,
shoe in, I
PBR,
think.
PBR is moving on most likely.
The third will be Old German, ja, and Miller High Life.
Oh.
And then last up
Das
is
Boot.
Steel Reserve and Bush.
Bush.
Ooh. I don't know. That they both sound terrible. I mean, it all sounds terrible. Let's see how this plays out. We'll see. All right, so we're starting off with
Lion's
the
Head
Lion's
and
Head.
Jenny Cream. Lion's Head and Jenny Cream. I'm feeling real confident about Jenny Cream.
Chris, get right into that mic with a pop.
Hold on a minute. Before we pop, probably important to note, what we're going to do is we're going to taste, and each of us is going to say our score for this beer out of 25.
What a random number.
Why 25?
Because it can add up to 100. There's 4 of us.
There's also that.
And it's less likely that we'll tie scores because if we only do to 10, if we all rate a 7.
Look, as we've talked about before, this is highly subjective, and we are not professional tasters
We're cerebral people.
at all.
If you look at my Untapped, I beg to differ.
Big Z is putting his Untapped resume on the table. We've talked about how much we love the Untapped app here before.
Hell yeah.
Not a
we-
sponsor.
Should
Not
we
spot.
look up these beers on Untapped?
I
Can
can-
we go?
oh
and
100%.
see?
Hold
I
on.
was planning on checking all of them in.
After scoring, I suggest that we do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you must score the beer first.
Yes,
Oh, before
we score
looking?
the beer.
Yeah, because
Fair.
I don't
Big
want.
Z, I'm going to have you be in charge of that. I think that you should pull that up and just give us the scores.
Excuse me
after.
while I whip this out.
Yeah.
Go. Oh, okay.
Whoa, here we go.
It makes no sound. It's
Ah,
very-
Lion's Head.
Lion's
It's
Head.
very undercarbonated.
Okay,
apparently.
let's consider that as we start tasting the
Oh, also-
twist top results in
There
no
is a
sound.
game on the top of
Y-
that.
yeah, forgot about the.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I have no idea what this is.
Hang on. Again, NEPA product.
Do you have to come from NEPA to be able to do the?
Apparently.
Yeah, I got what the.
By NEPA, I'm assuming
Let me see
northeastern Pennsylvania.
I'm a scientist. Yes, you're correct.
Okay, so
I'm a scientist.
so we did actually just get some listens from the Democratic Republic of Congo. So I want to make sure that everybody knows what region we're talking about here.
I know people there.
Yeah,
No,
I don't either.
What is
But if you're
this?
listening
Yeah,
from there,
that's
I'm
not
thrilled
one.
to
It's
have
just
you.
like weird emojis. All right. Okay.
Weird emojis.
Hey now.
All right, weird emojis.
No.
so for you
Hey,
listeners
now.
out there, this is a
Hey,
nice,
now.
it's a nice red label with a lion's head on it, and the words "Lion's Head Pilsner."
Solid.
It's-
Oh yeah, it is a
Oh,
pilsner.
Just
It's a
in
Pilsner.
case this is gonna move on, guys. Remember, don't overpour here. We're gonna need more.
yeah.
All right.
we didn't.
I'm
I've
getting
got
Eat Ye
four
Paddle
more of
Love
them. It's all
Box
good.
out of this one.
Oh.
Eat
Sure.
Ye Paddle Love Box. That's all I got.
Listen,
it's
I'm a fan
deluxe-
of the Love Box.
it's a
Get
deluxe
that Genesee
premium-
cream out. Let's go.
Oh, the,
Oh, the pour.
cream
What's-
ale
what's the nose on that
smells
cream?
Terrible.
Is that my other one?
That's your Lion's Head.
That's my Lion's Head.
All right, this is Genesee Specialty Cream Ale. It's a green can with a white stripe on the bottom. Eagles fans go wild for this shit just because they think everything's about them.
It doesn't have the Philadelphia. It doesn't
Said
have
the Cowboys fan.
Hey, man, you're a Giants fan. You should have enjoyed that joke.
It's true.
All right.
Okay, I'm going to smell them both. They both smell underwhelming and horrible.
I smell beer.
All right, here we go. We're doing Lion's Head first.
Lion's Head first. Here we
Lion's
go.
Head. It is a solid beer flavor.
You know
Yeah,
what?
that's what it is. It's a solid beer flavor.
It is not nearly as horrible as I was expecting it to be.
So light, got a little malt backing on it.
Yeah.
Not too
Yeah.
bad.
It's got
It's
more
not-
taste than I was expecting.
For
It
a-
doesn't taste like
for
water.
a non-light beer, it's pretty light. Like super light in flavor.
All right, now I'm going for the Genesee.
I think Jenny Cream Ale doesn't smell like anything at all.
Jenny Cream Ale.
Cardboard.
Not a terrible tasting beer, but definitely tastes like a light beer to me.
I don't think it tastes
sticks
light.
on my tongue.
It's got a cream-ish flavor.
It
Cream-ish.
insists
not cream.
upon itself.
That's a
It
great way to put it.
100% does.
Yes.
It's like, oh, I'm here.
It did totally erase the lion head. Right? It was like,
should we
Bounced it right out.
Should we go around starting with Chris for his scores? And Matt, would you like to tabulate the scores?
yeah, that'll end well. Sure.
Well, you know what? Numbers are not your thing, but I'm going to trust you on this.
Words, numbers, I struggle with many things.
One. Okay. I'm going back in. Lion's Head.
See, I'm not opposed to the Lion's Head. Then I take the cream ale, and it just tastes like beer pong backwash.
I'll tell you, man, I will say, at least for this first round, not nearly as bad as I was expecting coming
Agreed.
into this.
That's exactly. I was going
Right?
to say that
Right? Like,
because I was
Wow.
expecting to immediately drink one
No.
and want to vomit.
No.
Neither of these are
No.
anywhere near that.
See,
but
this
like-
is why,
okay.
like Matt was like, who would want to know? The people want to know this. This is a deep dive.
we are,
cheap
at
beer.
this point in our lives, we are all craft beer people.
Oh, snob.
Right?
I'm a snob.
Snob.
Right?
Snob.
So,
Oh, yeah.
so it's
I
fair.
have no
it's
standards.
fair to say, it is fair to say that coming into this, we were all a little bit nervous that we would just be having absolutely horrific pea water.
Well,
As we're talking, I'm drinking the Jenny Cream Ale. Like, I'm drinking the Jenny Cream Ale.
my question to you is, and this is why I was going to bring this up too, for nostalgic reasons, are you
Yeah.
drinking the Jenny Cream Ale because it's what you want, or out of the two, do you think it tastes better? Because I think that's the key. Like,
Well, that's-
I've drinking
But
a ton of Lion's Head, and
It's been
Yeah.
so
like-
long. I don't think I bought it since I was actually at the Indiana University of Pennsylvania. In case I didn't mention that earlier when I was like, I went to Indiana, and Rob was like, Penn State. I went to the Indiana University of Pennsylvania. I
Listen.
loved it. I had a wonderful 4.5 years, did a half victory lap there. I'd do it all over again in a heartbeat if I could.
There is a superior university in this state, and it's okay.
You fools used
Yes,
to come out to
it's
drink
Penn.
with me, and everybody
State.
I ever drank with
No.
at IUP from Penn State would
Penn.
say the same thing.
Oh.
We drink Friday, Saturday nights. You fools start on Thursday, and you stop Monday morning.
In
My
that-
university is so proud of me right now.
Thank you. Let's go for scores. It's Chris.
All right, so I scored Lion's Head at 22.
Oh,
I'm a fan of that beer. It's
Okay.
a good beer.
So-
Okay.
okay.
I left some room. And same thing here with Genesee, or Jenny Cream, I gave a 10. It's not the worst thing I've ever had in my life, so there's some room below it, right?
So I think for listeners, you have to understand these are the first two out the gate. Scores
Yeah,
might be
might be a
hard
little
to
might be a
know.
little bit wacky out the gate, but I agree with you, Chris. I would have probably done like a 19 or a 20 for a Lion's Head. Let's go 19 conservatively, and then Jenny like a 9 or a 10. I would drink Lion's Head again. Like if you said all we have is Jenny, I'd be like, well, water is good for me.
Yeah. Which I've done at a party before.
Yeah, I'm
A
just
few
being.
years ago, it was the only thing left in a cooler, and I was like,
Yeah, no,
that's okay.
Like
I'm good with water.
Yeah. I mean,
Rehydrate. All right, so I guess for me, I'd give the Lion's Head an 18. I'm going conservative here. I want to
Yeah,
leave plenty of room
It's fair.
over top. So I'm going to go 18 for the Lion's Head. I'm going a 10 on the Jenny Cream. It's a little bit too watered down for me, so I'm going 10.
I'm going to say for the Lion's Head, I don't dislike it. It's a good beer. If I was playing beer pong or something, that would be great in the cup. I'm going to say 15.
Yes.
So I'm thinking Lion's Head 15. The flavor's not there for me. I just didn't find a lot of it.
Okay.
The Jenny, on the other hand, I'm going to say is a 20. I enjoy the flavor.
Wow.
I like it.
Playing favorites with his
It's a
own.
go-to.
nostalgic
Really?
for sure. Yeah, I think that's a key here too. Is that we all have these
Yeah, for sure.
like something that jumps out.
All right, Chris, if you have the tabulations, which is the winner?
And then
I
I'll-
think we all know.
And then I'll give you the untapped for each one of them if you'd like.
Give me the totals, please. I'll enter those into the bracket.
The clear winner here was Lion's Head at 74 to Genesee's 49.
Okay, Lion's Head with a 74 to Genesee Creams. What was that?
49.
Okay, Lion's Head moves on, and I now have
Hey.
a 12-pack of $8.49
Ladies and
Genesee to
gentlemen,
enjoy later.
Ladies and gentlemen, what we haven't told you is that the losing beers today are going to be poured out into our black hole cups. That's right. We have a cup for disposing of the losing beers, and that might come back to bite us later. We'll see.
So interestingly enough, on tap, I
needs
don't
some?
know if you want to calculate this on your score sheet there, Chris. 3.03 is Lion's Head out of 5 caps, and Genesee comes in. The cream ale comes in at 301. So
Wow.
they're like
Okay.
right next to each other.
So
Wow.
we are
Very
In-
interesting
in
that they're
step.
that close.
They're that.
they
you know,
are very similar in types of
Yes.
beer. I will give it that, but the Genesee was just so much lacking.
yeah,
in
lacking.
flavor.
Yeah.
lighter. It was like lighter, for lack of a better word.
Yeah.
So, in respect to the Genesee Cream being the first one into the Black Hole Cup,
Black hole detected. Beware the event horizon.
There it goes.
Excellent start to this.
Agreed.
I'd say it's a start. I don't know if I'm ready to say excellent at this point. We're also going to have
Pleasantly surprised at the beginning of this one. I'm going to be honest.
Yeah. All right. What's round 2 again?
Yeah,
Can
what
you
are we
remind us, please, Matt?
Round 2 will be Pabst Blue Ribbon and Natural Ice. Now, ironically, these are the 2 beers most featured at the fraternity I used to hang out with at IUP.
Amazing.
Shout out to Phi Beta Ruta, the drumline fraternity.
Rat-a-tat-tat. I don't know what else to say there.
Rat-a-tat-tat. You played bass drum in a marching
There's
band with me.
something-
Rat-a-tat-tat.
There's something magical about opening a 24-ounce beer.
That's true.
It just has such
Yeah.
girth.
Why
Bravado.
does the PBR have a scorpion on the back of it?
It's badass.
Never
Yeah.
in my life
Because
seen that.
It'll kill
The
ya.
Rock drank it in the Scorpion King.
Oh,
100%.
Do we have additional
smell-
solo cups?
We do.
What kind of pour is
but
that, Matt? What the hell are you doing?
he poured it upside down.
Good Lord. He's using the tab as an air filter. It releases the bubbles on the way in, so it's releasing the flavor.
Dear listeners, I'm a one-man production team trying to manage a podcast.
We don't want your excuses
Hey,
right
bro,
now.
grab your second beer and let's get it poured into a cup.
All
Natty
right.
Ice smells like bad decisions and nothing all at the same time.
So PBR can clearly displaying its wonderful blue ribbon
Very patriotic.
because it's won something. We don't know what it won. It may
Not gonna lie.
win this bracket.
On the nose, the PBR has a stank to it.
Yeah.
The Natty smells like nothing. The PBR has a
Well,
stank.
see, that-
I don't know what the stank is. I
That's
can't
what I was
describe
afraid
it.
of.
The Natty,
Yeah.
well, first of all, the Natty Ice is brewed for a smooth taste. Okay.
Well, we're about to find out.
It's a black can with some blue writing and an eagle with an A. I don't know what's behind it. Anheuser-Busch, maybe? Is that what that is?
Yeah, that's the
Yeah,
Anheuser.
there you go.
Logo.
The Anheuser
Yeah.
logo. So
Which did not know. I mean, they make everything.
Science.
So I should have known. But
5.9% there. I'm
All
going
right.
to try the PBR first.
yep, here it goes.
Does have a sulfur.
Tastes like home.
Yeah, it does.
It's like
It's very
it does,
comforting.
Yeah.
I'm going to say this a lot today, so I'm sorry, but it's a very beer-flavored beer. And if you don't know what that means you don't
It
drink
means-
cheap beer.
No,
Yeah.
it means there's nothing specific to it. So it just tastes like
Yeah.
hops and barley.
Yeah. Tastes like 2006. That's what it tastes like. It tastes like 2006 for me.
Listen, I could drink PBR all day.
It's a little heavy.
It is a thicker beer.
it has body to it.
I'm
Yeah.
still getting that hint of sulfur, though, as I'm drinking it. I feel like there's some sulfur flavor to what's in my mouth.
So I don't get that on the taste, but the nose.
The
I think
nose
someone
has
said
it.
already.
I'm not
It's-
getting it on the taste
geez.
either. All right, I'm going for the natty.
All right, let's
a
go for
thing
the
that
natty.
I
Let's
didn't
do
think
it.
I'd say past the age of 25, but
It smells okay.
this is bad.
Kind
in
of
my opinion.
slides down.
It's like sour.
It is.
It's
This
like,
is what I remember. So we drank Natty Light, not Natty Ice. But, I mean, they're the freaking same beer.
I had Natty Light, Natty Ice, Natty Daddy. I had all of the
What
natties.
is Natty Daddy?
You never had a Natty Daddy?
No.
Oh, it's awful. It
It
is.
sounds like a sexual move.
Anheuser-Busch is going to call me after this, but it's just on par and as bad as the rest of the Natty crew.
I don't know if enough people are listening to get you in trouble with an entire beer company at this point.
I'm hopeful.
Certainly not Anheuser.
Yeah.
See, that's the threshold for Matt and Friends Drink the Universe, though. I want to say things and get big enough that I get yelled at by somebody.
Well,
So
that day may come with good research like this.
there
That's
you go.
right.
I mean, I
Okay.
don't really want to.
Let me know when we're ready to score.
Who we
We're going to start with you, my friend.
sure?
Yep.
All right, this is a difficult decision.
Okay.
PBR not as good as I remembered it.
No, I would 100% agree with that.
Yeah.
So I am a person who
But is it better than the Lion's Head
No,
to you?
see, and I don't think so.
I would
Okay.
agree. I
I'm
have to
like,
agree.
I'm gonna give it a 19.
A 19. Okay.
This is where my first scoring on things I might have screwed up. Sorry, Chris. I didn't.
No, it's okay.
I know
I had to
you're-
clear my throat.
Yeah, I'm concerned.
Yeah. Well, Natty Ice is definitely getting a 6 from me. That's a terrible beer.
Okay.
It's almost in the basement. I didn't throw up because of drinking it, so yet. It wasn't the instant throw up that I was fearing it to be. So 6 for me.
I'm not going to lie. Natty Ice is, I don't want to say bad things about things, but
$1.69 for 25 ounces.
I think that's it. You're going for quantity over quality.
Sure.
So 6 is probably good for
Oh, a
natural
6.
ice. That's low. And I think I gave a 19 to Lion's Head. I'm glad
Yeah,
you
you
wrote
did.
this down.
Yeah.
I would agree that PBR, I remember it being so much better than it is right now.
Yeah.
So I would probably say somewhere like a 16, 17, 17.
Oh, boy. Okay. I'm going to give PBR a 17, just underneath the Lion's Head at the moment. And the Natty Ice is getting a 6 for me.
Solid
It's-
6s so far for Natty Ice.
It's just,
I got to admit a little bias because I drank a lot of PBR back in the day to the point where I got sick of it. And I tasted that. And when I said it is the taste of 2006, I wasn't kidding. It is the taste for me of bad decisions past. Surprisingly, going to give PBR a 14. I thought flavor-wise, where we
respectable
were
number.
so far, I thought that flavor was better than the previous round. Now, when we talk about Natty, I'm giving Natty a 10. I think it just kind of sits there in the pocket. It might be a little nostalgic for me. If you were to say to me it was Natty Ice or Sobriety, I would still probably go with Natty Ice. Again, as I said earlier, my standards might be a little lower. I don't know. I'll go for it. If
We
it's
all
the
know that.
only option on the table, Natty Ice or water, I'm still going to go with Natty Ice.
Fair.
I mean, everybody's
everybody's got
entitled
their
to their opinions.
I-
Christopher, can you tabulate for us?
Matt, what did you do Natty Ice at?
10.
10.
All right.
Natty 10.
The bracket number 2, we've got PBR at a 67 and Natty Ice at a 28.
All right. On
We
tap.
got Untapped as.
Natty Ice is coming in at a 1.8 out of 5.
Yikes.
PBR is a 2.83.
Okay, so
We're still in
once
line.
again,
So, like, we are right. I'm still surprised that Jenny came out that high on
Untapped.
On Untapped.
Yeah.
I,
Well, that
I
is-
really liked the PBR better than the Jenny personally.
Agreed.
So I'm surprised
There's
to
a
hear
lot
that
of-
PBR is under a Jenny.
There's a
and
lot of
Untapped.
people like Matt who really like that beer for nostalgia purposes. So I think that's totally understandable that it ranked pretty high
Yeah.
on Untapped because people just like that beer. I know people who are beer snobs who will say, "Oh,
Oops.
but Jenny Cream's just such a great beer." And
Right.
you're like, "What?"
Yeah.
So
it's-
Today's my first day having it.
So here's the funny part. Anytime I need to buy beer for the podcast, the first place I check is DNR Bev here in Nazareth, Pennsylvania.
okay.
They have a wonderful selection. Their 4-packs are amazing when you're looking for craft beer. They get such a wide selection. It's really awesome because I can go in there and get something that just fits the mood. I had a very surprising conversation. I went in and said, I am looking for Genesee Cream Ale. And the person that was helping me out says, oh, yeah, we actually have some in stock. And I said, you have them in stock as in this isn't something you order, or you have some in stock as like this is something that sells? And she was like, we have a hard time keeping this in stock. People come in looking for that.
for Jenny Cream,
Yeah,
Wow.
Well,
understandable. I think that it's a PA thing too.
it is.
it is.
I mean, I guess it's what you grow up with, right? So
I was just going to say, sometimes it brings people back to a certain thought process or a certain memory.
that's fair.
So that means into the black hole cup goes the natural ice.
That's right.
At any point, listeners, if this cup starts to glow green or float on the table, we will let you know. Okay,
Oh, it's
Rob
so
is
terrible.
signaling that he has enough left over that he refuses to put inside of himself.
No, I poured a lot into my original cup, so I've
got
been
some left.
saving for the black hole cup. That's right.
All right.
All right, on to the third battle.
Old German and Miller High Life.
Ye old German.
Now, I'm interested because I've never had Old German before. I've never even heard of Old
Never
German
heard of
before.
it.
I've heard of it. I've never had it.
Do you think an old German would sound something like, I'm an old German?
Yeah.
For the movie buffs out there, you have
Close
to
enough.
warm up the
Yeah.
sausage. You have to rub it.
Oh my God.
Okay, Old German against.
Miller High Life. The champagne of beers.
So I've had this beer precisely 3 times in my life before today. All 3 of them.
Precisely 3.
I'm going to call him out on the podcast. A guy we all know that we grew up with, Mike Weber. This was like his beer.
Weber.
Mick Weber. This was his beer back in the day. And anytime I hung out with him, he's like, I got High Life.
The
Okay.
champagne of beers.
So the champagne of beers, like when you start drinking Miller Lite just to like play beer pong and do
Yeah.
those things, like, oh, those are the fun days.
like when
And
you
then-
don't care about life.
Right. And then when
Yeah.
one day you wake up and you're like, I'm going to switch to High Life. It's a transition point of your life. You have moved out of the just party phase.
I jumped right over that phase, apparently.
Maybe.
To the classic High Life can, the woman on the moon. I imagine this is what the astronauts
The woman on the moon.
drank when they came back from the moon. They're like, oh, well, I'll have some High Lives.
We need some old German as well, my friend.
All right, classic old German can, white with an old German man pointing at the old German.
Mein Gott.
So,
In heaven, there is no
there you go.
beer. That's why we drink it here. And when we're gone from here, our friends will be drinking all our beer.
The Old German first beer with a very large head on it.
Hey,
yeah, very frothy.
we'll see how that plays out. Some people are into it.
A whole pint. I love that it says that at the top. A whole pint.
One whole lager.
With an exclamation point at the end. A whole pint.
It also says OG on the side. I'm just
You know,
saying.
it would be pretty cool if
Premium-
you poured it and then passed it
So
to
I'm
me.
just reading this can. Okay, they have a very haughty opinion of themselves. Premium lager. The world knows no finer down there on the bottom.
Wow. Wow.
Old German.
Bold claim.
That's a
Old
mic
German.
drop
It's
moment,
got, listen,
folks.
it's got OG right on the
That's
can.
right. Original German.
I hope I like this beer so that I can refer to, yeah, you want to go drink some OGs? Like, that's pretty legit.
All right, I'm starting with the.
Which are we going first?
They've got very similar noses to them.
They do. That I
To
noticed.
me, they smell exactly the same.
Damn near the same.
Oh, I have to agree with you.
Yeah, that's weird, the same.
Well,
The High Life
it
has a
may
little bit of that sour smell
Be
to it.
the same. Yeah,
Well,
okay.
Is the High Life a Pilsner or a lager?
It's a
It's,
champagne.
it's
beer.
American lager.
So the
they're
old
both,
German-
They're both
It's
lagers.
1903.
When I smell the High Life, I get a lot more barley. I get a lot more barley in that
Oh,
sniff.
that's probably the sourness. Okay.
Yeah, and when
Yes.
I sniff,
When
I
you
sniff
sniff
the
it?
old German,
I'm going in for a High Life.
You're sniffing the old Germans now.
apparently
Real crowdy smell.
High Life first.
the old German is
High Life
making me
first.
miss the Rausch beer. Like I sincerely miss the Rausch beer.
Oh my. Okay, I'm into the High Life. Surprisingly lack of flavor.
On the High Life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
It's
reminds
very
me
watery.
of the Natty
Barley
Ice.
water. It's
like,
barley
it's
water.
so close to the Natty Ice in taste.
That's
really
straight
is.
barley water.
It's actually kind of sad for me.
All right, I'm going
The High
for
Life.
Yeah.
I remember that being such a.
I'm going for that
That's-
old German
That was
now.
PBR for me.
Yeah.
Einprosit.
Ooh, there's something going on there.
Oh, there is.
It's very smooth.
That's surprising.
Uh-oh.
It's very smooth.
What's happening?
What? It's so old. It's so German.
Like, I feel like you could drink a ton of them.
Ooh, I don't know if I'd agree with that.
Oh, I'm good.
I don't know if
It's
I agree with that. That-
It's,
I mean,
it's
I think
heavy, but it's
It's a whole pint, man. It's a whole pint.
It's the OG, bro.
scheisse.
I think this is the first surprise for me in the battles so far. I don't know. We'll see how the scores play out. But Chris,
Okay, I have to give... Oh, this is tough. I'm giving the old German a 20.
wow, coming in hard with
It's
that old
pretty
German.
damn good.
Yeah, it really
Or
is.
Again,
Sponsig for our German listeners.
I would like to remind the listeners that I am keeping these beers in their own realm.
Oh, of course. It goes without saying.
But 20, and also I'm really comparing because I'm really bad at like remembering what I thought of past beers. So 20 for that. The High Life, I'm going to give a 12.
I think
Okay.
that's a fair answer for the High Life. You know, I keep trying to think of how this compares to the Lion's Head at the beginning.
Yeah.
And I just,
I'm trying to keep that out, and I'm just going head to head right now.
No,
I-
that's fair.
you know, that's actually a good.
That
that's
is
a
very fair.
good way of looking at it.
We're going to rescore these as they go up against
Yeah.
each other in later brackets.
I'm happy to say this is
All
highly
right.
subjective
Big Z,
scoring.
where are you at?
Well, you know, I gotta say, I thought High Life was going to be my winner of this, honestly, hands down. Because I just remember drinking High Life. And
Sure.
Like I said, it felt like a transition moment. It was like a growing up time for me.
Yeah.
Like a.
We're
like
not LITE, man. We're
coming
High
of
Life.
age beer.
Yeah.
Coming of age
Yeah,
beer.
look at me. I'm drinking the High Life. And, 12 is, I think, accurate for that.
In the old German?
20, 21. I think the Old German is
It's
good.
a good beer.
It's good.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's
Again,
good.
I'm trying to think, how many would you drink?
2.
How many Lion's Heads would you drink?
2.
Yeah.
I mean, we're
Yeah,
pretty
no,
close.
I
They're
have to,
close,
like,
right? So
yeah.
So you're going 20 or 21?
I'm going 20 on this.
He's going
and,
20.
and
Okay,
I feel like
sincere
my
question.
Lions head might be
Sincere
low.
question. How many would I drink? Am I paying for them or not?
no,
I
you're,
mean-
you're at a party and they're in a cooler.
Well, I mean,
Okay.
Yeah,
they were
they
were
you
eight-
paid to get into the party already.
I'm
like,
going for
it
the
doesn't
old
matter.
German then.
They were
I'm
eight.
going for the old
They
German.
were
Oh.
$8.55 a
Okay.
six pack.
But again,
All right,
all
so-
what do you got, Rob?
I would go High Life 13,
That's consistent.
Old German 18. I'm
Fair.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
Yep, that's where I'm at. In
What
a
do we got,
shocking
Weasler?
turn of events.
So, as I said, I've had High Life 3 times before. What I didn't say earlier is every time I've had it, I have developed a disdain for it. I don't like it. It doesn't do it for me. I'm giving High Life a 4. That's the best I can do. It's not beer. That's my opinion on it.
All right, what do we got Old German at?
For the Old German, I'm giving the Old German a 20.
Wow.
I would drink Old German. I would buy a case. I would watch football. I would yell at my Steelers for not doing great in the 2022-2023 season, and I would drink Old German.
I think we've caught a trend of Matt judging these beers based on history.
Yes.
Which is fine. Because
I mean-
I was that way as well with PBR. I came
That's
into
fair.
this being like, I'm going to give it a top scores no matter what because it was my favorite beer, in the college age. But no, I couldn't do it. I
Yeah,
just
here we
couldn't.
are.
So to be fair, I haven't had PBR or High Life in legitimately 15 to 20 years.
The
It's
only
been a
one of
long
these that
time.
I've had recently would have been Genesee Cream.
I would also like to
so
point
far.
out, and if anybody would like to call it for the Old German, I will press the button, but we haven't hit the Stellar Sip button yet.
That's
I
okay.
don't know if
I
we're
think
quite
it's too
there
early.
yet.
Let's
I
wait
think
till
it's too early.
round two.
Let's go around
We got to
two
get to round 2.
Okay, so we're all on the same page
Yeah.
right now. All right, good.
Scores for round 3, we got Old German at a 78, and we have High Life at a 41.
I'm not going to lie. I think
I
Old
will-
German scored higher than
I will point out, so far,
Then
Old
Lion's Head.
German highest scorer.
I'd like to get another crack at Lions, which I think we will.
Yeah.
So, Untapped has High Life at a 2.7 out of 5.
Okay.
Old German, a 2.78 out of 5.
All right.
So
we did not
on-
find them to be that close in their
No.
taste.
No, but we are on trend.
But
with,
we are still ahead of the curve.
I have to tell you that the first time I had Old German was kind of like a
What's it right now? Because
No.
for me, it was.
no. A guy I knew was like, "Hey, you got to try this great cheap beer. You can buy like a case for like $20 a pounders." I was like, "Yeah, I'll give that a shot." And I think it lives up to its kind of its.
All right, we got our last battle of round 1.
All
What
right.
do we have, Matt?
So I'm not going to lie. This is the one that I've been the most afraid of in the bracket. We have a Steel Reserve with Bush.
God, it's terrible.
this is going to be
OMG.
what separates the men from the boys.
All right, so we're going to start with the Bush Classic blue can with the mountains, the Rocky Mountains in the back.
My brain was in the same place that yours is.
What was that? I
My brain.
I love the podcast.
Season 2 will be filmed because you have to see some of this stuff. Whatever
Thank
just
God
happened right
season
now.
1 didn't
Oh
happen.
my God.
I broke Chris. Okay. Get me some Bush. The Steel Reserve, it's 8.1, gents. Be gentle.
First of all, it says high gravity at the top.
It sure does. But it was
Again,
$2 a can,
I'm
so
curious.
it qualifies.
$2 a can?
And I'll be honest with you, we're all craft beer drinkers here, right? So this is an 8.1. Is this going to actually agree with our palates more because we're so used to higher gravity beers?
Well,
That is some heavy
Don't know.
optimism.
sometimes though,
Don't know.
the
I'm
better
just saying.
the better craft beers are not the high alcohol beers. Does that make sense?
I mean,
Your
Again,
triples and
you're
double
not wrong.
Indian Pale Ale. Sometimes if they're too boozy,
Yeah.
to me that
it all
can get you a little
depends on
All right.
the style as well, because like
Yes.
a good stout has to be
Oh, of course.
imperial stout has to be heavy.
Oh, guys, I just smelled. Okay.
I did too. It's not
I'm not
great.
gonna lie. The Steel City Reserve smells like gasoline,
Yikes.
and the Bush.
Ooh, it does have, again, we're having a trend of one of the beers having that really like sour smell.
What is it? Like a barley note? Have we agreed on that?
That's what we were saying earlier.
Okay.
What are you doing first?
I'm gonna start with a Bush.
Okay.
I'm a Bushman. Call me Moses. Here we go. I mean,
It's smooth.
Okay, I'll give it that.
I'm
But
surprised.
it's
it's
got
not
literally no flavor. Almost no flavor. Again, it's got the beer flavor, but it's so watered down.
Who's ready for the Steel City?
I'm not, but
Oh
let's do
god,
it.
I'm so concerned.
Can't get over the smell.
It's awful.
I don't think it tastes that bad. It smells horrible,
Yeah.
but it tastes like real beer.
You can taste
actually
the
It
high
tastes like
gravity.
real
though.
beer.
You can taste that difference in alcohol content for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know
Again,
what you
it's-
guys are doing. I think
It's not going to knock me on my butt or anything, but like it tastes.
No, it is certainly better than I was expecting.
The
it to
Steel
be.
Reserve, though, says if I have 2 of those or 3 of those, I'm going to feel it.
Yeah, done.
I'm
Yeah.
going to feel it.
Yeah.
a normal night for me though.
Fair, because with the craft beer we're used to drinking, that's right about where it is, right? 8.1, 9%, somewhere
Okay.
in that wheelhouse.
To me, this is the closest battle we've had thus far.
The Steel Reserve's got an aftertaste that I cannot get over.
Thank you. Yep.
I agree
There's
with that.
something going on in the back of my tongue that I
Again, I don't think it's not terrible. Neither of these are terrible beers.
this is like, I don't know,
All right,
cesspool water.
let's. Whoa.
All right. All right.
I know I'm going up against you here, but I don't know that it's that much of a gap.
I would say at Swig.
I'm pretty sure it's that much of a gap.
at,
Well, we're
at
gonna see here.
Swig,
We're gonna
I
see
would
here.
say, but that aftertaste.
Chris, where are you at?
Okay, I'm going to give Steel Reserve a 10,
Okay.
and I'm going to give Bush a 12. It's not my lowest rated beer as Steel Reserve, but Bush is better by a hair.
Okay. Big Z, where you at?
You know, I'm going to be honest. I'm not overwhelmed with either one of these.
Yeah.
No.
You don't say.
Well, I mean, there have been some surprises along the way, right? Like
Sure.
We've had some stuff. So I would say probably Bush at a 9 and Steel Reserve at an 8.
9 and an 8. I'm going to go with the Bush at a 10 and the Steel Reserve at an 11.
Really tight race.
All right. I'm going to say Steel Reserve, 7. Bush, 13.
Wow.
Got some gap there.
Little gap.
All right. So Steel Reserve coming in on tapped at 2.14. And Bush is coming in at
Isn't that higher than the previous ones we looked at?
2.45.
Wow. So Bush beating out so far.
No, those are some of the lowest.
Yes, they are.
Those are some of the lowest. Natty Ice still coming in at the lowest. I'll recap these scores here.
Yeah.
So we've got now Steel Reserve as a 36, but the winner, Bush, at a 44 for our scores. But overall, we've got, let me see if I can do this order correctly in one shot. So we have Natty Ice at a 1.8. We have Steel Reserve at a 2.14. We have Bush at a 2.45. We have High Life at a 2.7, PBR at a 2.83, Genesee at a 3.01, and Lion's Head at a 3.03. That is almost on par with what we scored. I think there's a few discrepancies, but we were pretty close to the
pretty
Untapped
much, I
averages.
think everything that moved forward was ahead in Untapped in those brackets.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
And,
All right.
and
I mean,
so,
I'm
so
pretty
everybody
impressed
knows
with
that,
ourselves right now.
that we didn't look at the
Hey.
Untapped at all
No.
until after we drank.
Sure.
both
Yeah,
beers,
They did not influence our
Yeah,
scores.
no, we didn't like look at it beforehand. I'm looking at them
Untapped.
as we're going.
Untapped, not a sponsor. Give me a call. Shoot me an email. mattandfriendsdtu.com. mattandfriendsdtu.com. All right. So worth pointing out that both my beloved Genesee Cream and my unbeloved Natty Ice are out. So no matter what, I will be drinking what is ever in that cup at the end of this thing.
Yeah, Matt, I don't think that we told the listeners that everything that gets poured down the black hole becomes the rocket fuel at the end. And all three people who have not had the winner selected, so all of the losers will drink the rocket fuel. And I am also completely out. So you and I have that lovely distinction of being the rocket fuel drinkers. And the battle now turns to Big Z versus Chris for this beer bracket.
So I'm proud to say that both the Old German and the Bush have advanced, and as well as your...
Yeah, we have PBR and Lion's Head.
Now that we've reached the end of round one that can mean only one thing, it is time for Chucky's Chuckles.
Right you are, Stephan, and chuckle we must because there are no cheers to be had with these terrible beers. Matt and Rob, we're left in tears as they are now making an early exit from this competition. It's really a sad state of affairs.
All right, let's go back down to Matt and the gang and get back to the action.
Very unexpected on the Old German. I think we all agree upon that.
It's a dark horse.
Never heard of it.
Yeah.
It's coming in real strong.
So we're going to start off with my heads up between Lion's Head and PBR.
Yes, that's where we're at right now.
So have we all poured? I have not.
Yes,
so.
I've got Lion's Head here in my tumbler and PBR here in this here solo cup.
Of course, Lion's Head brewed locally to us, in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania, is a deluxe premium Pilsner.
Is that what the bottle says? Deluxe Premium Pilsner.
It just says deluxe Pilsner.
I'm getting
I added the premium.
I'm getting being generous with the
A
premium.
lot more malty notes off the nose of the Lion's Head. Just me. Maybe it's not just me, but
No, it's not. You're correct. That is a malty taste.
Well, no, I remember from round one we talked about the malt coming out of
and then that PBR has that sourish
sour barley
scent.
Have any of you brewed beer at home?
I brewed with a friend.
It's a negative for me.
So I made some malt-based beer, and when I taste the Lion's Head, it smells exactly like when you open a can of malt. Exactly what I would expect.
So I think some of these run-of-the-mill beers, I should say run-of-the-mill beer, the PBRs. All right,
Okay.
Yeah, this is the
they
budget.
They don't have a lot of things going in.
Listen, guys,
Yeah,
I'm already ready to score here when you all are.
Hit me, Rob. What are you thinking?
There's a clear winner for me here. The Lion's Head out of 20 for me on this round. After we've gone through now and I've tasted everything and then I'm tasting again, Lion's Head 20 for me. PBR 16.
Interesting. You kept them pretty close.
Okay.
Lion's Head, I'd probably go 19.
Okay, Big Z.
I would drink it. I mean, that's what it comes down to. Like, I would drink it.
I am so shocked because I don't remember it being good.
I agree because Lion's Head was one of those beers that people would bring as I didn't want to spend a lot of money.
Correct.
I'm coming to your party, so I need to bring beer. So I brought you a case of Lion's Head. I think it happened one of the Super Bowl parties. I can't remember which, way back in the day. For those of you listeners, my wife and I, Siobhan, who you've heard before on the podcast, we always do a huge Super Bowl party every year.
Epic.
And for years, we were in a tiny house, and it was jam-packed full of people. One of the things we always said is, like, we'll supply the food, you supply the beer. And people would bring all kinds of random stuff. And Lion's Head was one of the cases that got left in my house. And there were 29 beers in that case for probably 6 months.
Right.
And then I had to dump it down the toilet because it was terrible to me.
Well, as a craft beer drinker, now
now
you're not going to go there.
The winner for right now.
So, Big Z, what is your PBR score then if you're giving Lion's Head?
So I'm trying to be consistent. I don't remember what I gave PBR before. Judging by this round at 19 for the Lion's Head, it's probably more like a 12, 13.
Okay.
I don't know where I'm at with the
Interesting.
scores.
PBR dropped for you, but that's cool. I am going to give Lion's Head a solid 20, and I'm going to give PBR a 14.
What were our numbers before?
Well, hold on. Matthew still needs to score it.
I do. So I recall the Lion's Head in your fridge, and you always had premium beer, and there was part of me that was like,
why is this
we're
here?
really good friends. I don't want to drink all of your premium beer, so I'm just going to reach for the Lion's Head. I'll take the low-hanging fruit because I'm here to watch a football game. We're here to play some Mario Kart, whatever. I'll get rid of it for you. I was probably responsible for 10 out of that case of Lion's Head over time, Here's what I got. The PBR, I'm going to give a 9. When I put it next to the Lion's Head and I drank them, the PBR, that, again, I'm going to say it's like a sulfur taste that I got out of it. So for the Lion's Head, I'm going with a 19 for the Lion's Head. I enjoyed it. I could drink that.
Yeah, honestly, it's
When I was younger, I felt the same way, though. When I was pilfering it out of your fridge, it was like, it's not bad. It's really not bad. It's okay. This cements that for me.
It's so weird the way that the history of a beer can influence us, but also can
absolutely.
it absolutely flipped on me. I think the other beer I was thinking of bringing, I don't know if you've ever remembered Duquesne beer.
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't know that I've ever had that.
It's like a localish beer.
Yeah, I've never had that.
It's a cheap Lion's Head-ish beer, and we got a free case of it once for winning trivia at one of the local places. That was another beer where I think we all, we got it. We were like, yeah, free beer. And we all came over to the house and we all had one. And we were like, hooray, terrible beer. And it sat in the kitchen.
It was free.
Yeah, it sat in the kitchen, then it got dumped because it was so terrible. So I was thinking about, can I do a redemption story on this beer?
I kind of wish you had.
But I had to go with Lion's Head and PBR,
No,
and I'm glad I did.
No, I
mean,
understand. But
so how did we shake out there?
Yeah.
Easily the winner, Lion's Head again.
Yeah.
Right.
At a 78 over a 52 to PBR.
Okay. What was Lion's Head the first round?
So Lion's Head first round 74, PBR 67.
I remember
So-
talking the first round, being like, I wonder if Lion's Head's going to jump up.
It
because
jumped
it was
up.
the first beer we had.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
We were all
Correct.
trying to be a little bit more conservative
Correct.
with our points,
Yeah.
but
Mine dropped for Lion's Head, but everybody else's, especially Welser's, jumped up for Lion's Head, and PBR dropped for most people. But again, that was because we were comparing it to such a crappier beer, if I do say
Yes.
so myself.
Yes.
I chose some two good beers. So,
Probably did.
all right, I think we now need to go on to the Big Z head-to-head.
let's see what we're going
Bush
with here.
To remind
versus
everybody,
the
we've
Old
got
German.
Old German
Bush
and
beer.
Bush.
and the Old German
Yeah.
premium lager. So
The OG.
the OG.
All right, I'll bush it up.
There is no Old German left, though. So honestly, we all drank the pint of Old German.
Okay.
Think about that.
Well, again, I brought mega pints.
I
So that,
I have 24s as well.
You brought one mega pint.
No,
the
I
other
brought
one's
two.
in a bottle.
I
thanks,
brought two, and we're halfway through the second PBR mega pint.
thanks
It's
Johnny
gross.
Depp, for your mega pint there. I hate to say this.
Wait, is that no? What
Here- Here's a question that I never thought I would ask in my life. Is there more Bush beer because this one is empty?
A whole nother pounder.
I hope you heard that. That
Yeah.
was the clank of fallen beers.
Right, here we go.
In
Oh man,
That was a good one.
the beer graveyard, if you will.
might I have some Old German, please? Bitte. Ich wünsche alte Deutsche. Bitte.
Doing that Freedom High School German proud there, Rob. Keep
That's
it going.
right, Frau Broski. What up? Shout out to you.
Easy killer.
All right, I got.
Also, just poured half a pint into his glass.
I did.
He's like, I love this Old German.
I
Ye
got,
Old German for the win.
I got Bush in the middle, and I've got Old German in the solo.
You say you got Bush in the middle?
Does anybody else need
Metal.
Old German?
Metal.
No,
No,
we're
I'm good.
All right, we're
The
sniffing.
Bush smells terrible.
It really does.
we all know
like-
which is going to win here.
The
Yeah,
scent
no,
here.
I mean, honestly,
This is
I
number
mean, we
one
think
versus
so.
number four.
we
basically.
think so. We think so.
I'm going to
But-
go Bush first
Yeah.
versus Bush last.
The smell of
It's
it.
bad.
It hurts your soul.
I mean, it doesn't taste good. What did this beat? What did this beat?
Steel Reserve.
Oh,
It's your own fault, my friend.
That's fair. I don't understand in tasting this the second time. I don't understand how this was better than anything.
Because someone took budget to a whole different level. That's how this won.
Yeah, I told you this yesterday, Rob. You should have been a little more choosy.
Okay, that's fair.
No,
I mean,
the standard for this was what do I buy when my self-respect is at
He
an
went-
all-time
he
low
went
and
for
I'm
the
reaching
yucks.
at the bottom because my wallet is empty. That's where we are.
He went for the yucks with the high gravity.
He did.
It didn't pay off.
No,
No,
did not.
it really
He
did
went
not.
for high alcohol
okay, I've tasted both
again.
again, and there is a clear winner. However, the Old German is not as good as I remember it being.
Agreed.
I have to agree as well.
I don't know what it is about going up against this one that like it's
So light,
taking a
maybe?
shift.
Because it went against High Life.
Oh, it's true.
Right? That's what it is.
It's been a rough day for me,
I'm
guys.
sorry, sir.
Like,
But
my picks were not skilled.
I'm nervous for the Old German, which I believe will advance this round. But
It could.
I don't know about going up against Lion's Head right now.
Chris, do you have a score?
I have to give the Bush like a 12 here.
Okay.
But then the Old German, I'm going to give a 16.
You okay?
Oh, man. The Old German. Such a strong early contender. And I feel like Old German, probably like a 17, 16, 17.
Okay.
That's got to drop.
Well, you got to pick
I'll
one
give it the
number there,
17.
fella.
I'll give it the 17.
We'll
He,
go
he always
17.
gives two numbers,
He
and
does.
I usually give the higher of the two.
No one really knows where he's going with it.
5,
Big
11,
Z.
12, 14,
An
and
enigma.
9. You're calling it like the
It's not the
Powerball over
It's
there.
not the lotto.
I'm going with the Bush at a 10. Underwhelming.
You know, Chris, I've got to say, I'm also not a fan of the Bush. I mean, you take what you can get, but the Bush is a 9 for me in this round.
You'd like it to be limited.
You would.
A limited
You
amount
would.
of Bush.
A tasteful amount.
Yeah.
I'll go with a 9 on the Bush. And for the Old German, I'm going to go with a 16. I'm going 16 on Old German.
Is it 2 in the hand? It's better than 1 in the bush. Is that how it is?
Yeah, I mean,
All right, Matt, we need your final scores.
Yeah, it's really a stark contrast when you put these two together, very much so more than the previous round. So Bush, I'm going to give an 8.
an 8.
I couldn't do it. There was the nose on the front end and then the
bad.
actual taste. And it was like watching a train derail as I was drinking. Couldn't do it. The Old German premium lager, again on the can, the world knows no finer. I'm going to give that a 17. Still say I could drink that one on repeat and we'd be okay.
I mean, I could. It just doesn't.
But would you want to?
No, the second time around, not nearly as good.
I go back to the thought that I've been having is how many of these would you be willing to drink?
2.
And I feel like,
But Lion's Head might be.
yeah,
I might drink
Well,
some more Lion's.
let's not get ahead of
We're
ourselves,
gonna
but
see.
it does
We're
feel
gonna
like
see.
we're kind
For
of
this round, what are our totals,
we
Chris?
are Old German killing it at a 66 versus Bush at a measly 39.
That really dropped though. Score wise.
It did.
That
It did.
I mean,
we
that
went from a 44 to a 39, so not a huge drop,
Okay.
but still, it was up against Steel Reserve.
no, I meant the Old German. That's a
Oh,
drop.
the-
That's got it. That was in the 70s, wasn't it?
Huge drop.
Huge drop for the.
Huge drop from a 78 to a 66. So,
Wow.
yeah.
Yeah,
A
big
12-point drop.
Yeah.
Contrast is important here. And I
Yeah, no, absolutely.
I said from the beginning, if we were to drink all 8 of these back to back, boom, 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 I think it would have been a different layout. But the bracket really
That's right.
forces you to choose.
Hyper focus.
All right, so we got to fill our black holes.
That's right.
Done.
Black hole detected. Beware the event horizon.
And now at the end of our semifinal round, we'll throw it to Stephan for his Weasler's Wit.
The Old German continues its blitzkrieg through the bracket as it mows down the Bush.
It's not the 70s anymore, Stephan. It was time for a trim.
And Lion's Head has snatched the blue ribbon away from Pabst.
Nobody even knows what that ribbon means, but we're okay with that.
And now on to the final round.
We've got Lion's Head versus Old German in a very, very exciting battle between Big Z and Chris.
Let's recap for the listeners because we've done a fairly bad job of this so far. What's actually in?
In the
Oh,
black
boy.
hole.
Oh,
Yeah,
boy.
what's actually in
Good
the black
Lord.
hole?
Wow.
Well,
In the black hole, we currently have Genesee Cream,
Yep.
PBR,
Yep.
Natty Ice,
Yep.
High Life,
Yep.
Yeah.
Steel Reserve,
Oh God.
and Bush. Whew. That is one hell of a
whole-
cocktail.
And it comes
That
down
hole is so
to
black.
to Lion's Head versus Ye Old German as the winner.
Listen,
I mean, when we started out today, either of these beers, did you think they were going to be here?
no.
It's
I'll be
crazy.
honest, like from a preconceived notion, PBR was always going to be in the final in my brain.
yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
That would have been a fair thought process.
Yeah.
I guess
right?
weirdly enough, I thought High Life would be this.
So
like
did I.
thought it would be
I thought
PBR versus High Life.
Yep.
And neither are here, guys.
I thought Lion's Head might make it to round 2 because, as I said,
That's
that
how I
was the
felt.
one that I would drink. I would never drink it and say, that's a bad beer.
No, it's
I'd
a good.
drink it and
It's a
say,
good point.
all right, it's a good.
To me, it was like, who is it
Intermission.
facing in round 1? And I think it will win. But I thought that it would get defeated no matter what, right? It doesn't matter what beer it's up against because whatever made it to round 2, it would lose to. But the fact that my beloved PBR was what it lost to, it's a rough go.
I know. Well,
yeah, PBR in general was underwhelming.
Let's
It
get out.
really
Yeah, it really was.
Which
Let's
is
get
kind
out
of
a
a
can.
shock.
We got Championship Series.
And let's get out a bottle. OG versus Lion's Head. Here we go.
Bum, 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 bum.
Matt, can you grab another can of this out of the old cooler over there?
Oh,
Sure.
the old German coming from the old cooler.
The final round.
Pittsburgh.
Lion's Head versus Old German.
Ironically, both Pennsylvania beers. Pittsburgh Brewing Company for OG, Old German, and Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania for at Lion's Head Brewery.
This is East
Wow.
versus West.
This
is East versus
this
West.
is
It's
like the
East
entire
versus West Bowl.
The entire
Ladies and
Commonwealth
gentlemen,
is up for grabs right now.
Hingle McCriggleberry
What?
in the house.
How did we end up doing that?
I don't know.
No one knows.
Honestly, I did not know that this was
I
brewed
guess
in
these
Pennsylvania
Lion's
until right now.
Weirdly, we are Pennsylvania boys, and we have left ourselves with a Pennsylvania v. Pennsylvania battle.
We may have to do this again with another state.
I mean,
I would love to have like a West Coaster individual join us with a bunch of budget beer West Coast
I don't
brews.
know if I want that.
You never know, though.
That's
I
true.
kinda-
here
That's
comes
true.
some Lion's Heads
Look,
going
look
around
at what
the
we
table
ended
here.
up with here.
Yeah.
You know?
I can't believe that I did
Give me
not
some
know
Old
that
German,
the Old
bro.
German was a Pittsburgh beer. I didn't know that.
I didn't know Old German existed. Matter of fact, this can is empty, so we're gonna need to open a new one. Here we go.
Another one to the dead
Yeah.
graveyard.
Here we go.
This is a magical journey we've been on.
That is very
All right.
true, Big Z. Very true. All
Your
right, I'm gonna-
definition of magical journey does not meet the Disney threshold, just saying.
Again, I feel like we have gone and done something that most people would not have done. And
We've
there
gone
were-
to frontiers that most people would not normally explore.
No,
Yeah.
but more importantly, if you throw nostalgia aside and you just drink the beers for what they are, I'm shocked that we're here. I'm shocked that
Listen,
the two
I
beers
am too.
are
I never expected Old German
right.
in the final round
With Lion's Head.
versus Lion's Head. When I was younger,
Yeah, no.
you get that for like $15 a case.
You can get money back when you drop the empty bottles off at the brewery in Wilkes-Barre. Well, I don't know if they still do it, but they did when I was in college.
they still do it.
Yeah, you can get money back. You can take an empty case back, and they're like, "Hey, we'll give you $10, $5 off, whatever it might be." It's
I don't
crazy.
think it was that much, but yeah, it was like $2 off.
It's like $2.
yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You bring the empty bottles back, they clean them and reuse them.
Shout out to all my NEPA friends. We love you
woot.
for your amazing brewery right now.
Pittston,
I'll be honest, gents,
Scranton, Wilkes-Barre.
I'm
Princeton,
kind of
Scranton.
forgetting which beer is in which here.
you will know upon
I've done Old
smell and
German.
taste.
I know now. The Old German is in the solo cup.
Red Solo Cup.
And in my tin cup here I have the Lion's Head.
Here we go. Let's do it. Final time.
Okay,
Lion's Head.
I'm smelling again. Smelling the Lion's Head.
I think that
Smelling the Old German.
so.
Hmm.
The Old German's underwhelming in the smell department, but it smells better than the other beers that we smelled.
Big
Yeah.
Z campaigning. He's
Yeah.
campaigning hard.
No. I'm just saying that now that we put it nose to nose with the Lion's Head, which
Interesting.
I think has its
Interesting.
has
I know
its,
what you mean.
has its best smell. And
Yeah.
the best smell comes out of Lion's
Okay,
Head.
guys. I know what's going on here for me. It's very clear once again. And I'm so shocked by this. But for me, the Lion's Head has so much flavor.
It
It is
does.
complex.
It's
insane.
For a cheap beer, the Lion's Head is doing so much.
Yeah, they have a
What is
flavor
happening?
profile, whereas Old German has one flavor.
Yeah, it's like, hey,
It's
this
crazy.
is beer. The Old German's like, I'm beer. And then Lion's Head's like, I'm beer. Bitch.
I got what you want.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
more going on here.
I'm gonna offend a lot of people here, but German beer style is one dimensional.
It is.
They do that dimension fantastically,
It's true.
and people, especially people who aren't actual Germans, who then brew German style beers, it then drops so far down.
Right.
Right. If this was an actual German brewery
Uh-huh.
versus Lion's Head, I think the old style German beer would kill it.
So
But this is
I'm
like-
also
this is
curious
that
if
vein.
the old German gets better as it gets warmer. Because oftentimes German style beer is best at closer
But I
to
don't
room
know
I've
if
never
temperature.
agreed with that
Yeah, but-
statement.
but I don't know
Closer
if
to
this
room
is,
temperature.
I know what
Not super cold,
I know that's like a
but
common
not
thing.
super warm.
Yeah. A lot of European
right.
breweries will tell you should be drinking your beer closer to room temperature. Us Americans are savages who chill our beers.
Everything's cold.
But
I
for
can't
me,
believe you put that in the refrigerator.
yeah, I can't do it. I can't do a room temperature beer. It just tastes far worse. to me.
So I think that
I agree.
the question comes down to, we're talking about a style of beer brewed in Germany. This is not the same style of beer. It's just not. It's
it wants to be.
but, agreed. And you know what?
It does.
For what it is, it's still not bad.
Are we ready for final scores?
Yeah, I think we are.
Christopher.
I'm gonna drop Lion's Head a little bit
Okay.
at an 18.
Okay.
But again, this is now we've broadened
Yeah.
the scope.
We've been all over
We're-
the universe.
We're wide open,
Yeah.
as it were. But then I have to put Old German at a 10.
Wow.
It failed me here.
A significant drop
I mean,
against a superior tasting beer, in my opinion.
if we were being honest,
Big Z.
I think that 10 for Old German, it might be slightly generous at this point.
Wow.
As I brought this beer into the battle, I would probably say 8 or 9. Go with your 9.
All right.
And Lion's Head, I believe I've given it a 19 across the board. I would give it a 19 again. I think it's a good. I think it's a out of what we've had today.
So consistent.
Like out of
So
but
consistent.
but every time it's been good. It's not been
I agree
bad.
with you.
Like it's
I'll be honest with you. I don't exactly remember what I've given Lion's Head across the board, but this time around, I'm going to try to be consistent and give it an 18 again. I think I've given it an 18 in the past. I mean, it's staying in at 18 for me. It's very hard for me to get above those numbers for these types of beers.
Again,
It's
for
in
me.
its
It
own-
was like, what do you want the separation to be?
right.
You also want like a baseline top to bottom, but you also want the separation. And that's why I went with my numbers of 18 and 10
Look-
because I wanted almost like a 10-point gap,
sure.
but I'm not going to
No.
put it.
I feel I'm
With-
going to keep Lion's Head at 18.
Within its ecosystem, it's the dominant predator. If you send it out to the
Wow.
ocean of beers, it's
Some-
going to get eaten up.
Wow.
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 We're going biological.
We are.
Boom.
What are you hitting with the Old German?
Wow, Mike. I believe that might be the first time this season that someone else has dropped some science
And
knowledge.
it was deserved.
It was. It was well earned. I guess for me, the Old German at this point, in comparison to the Lion's Head, is an 11. It's significantly worse than the Lion's Head.
No, it
There's
absolutely.
just- there's
it
100%
is. Like
There's no, and I have to engage that in scoring. I'd be very curious once Matt's done here to see how much the scores have changed round by round for those two beers.
Yeah, we'll recap everything.
Old
but
German's going to have, well, depending on what Matt does. it
We'll
drops,
see.
For sure.
hit us, Matt. What do you
All right.
think?
So I admit in the previous round, some nostalgia came into my scoring. This was never meant to be completely objective scoring. It was going to be subjective in many ways. These are two beers that hold zero nostalgia for me. So if you want to get an honest, objective opinion, these are going to be the two beers. I'm going to say that the Old German, in this case, head to head, and that's really what I focused on, head to head. That initial nose and smell, I couldn't. I'm saying 11 for the Old German.
All right, it's fair.
The Lion's Head has that really, as we've talked about, complex flavor profile. It's not one dimensional. There's
Who knew?
different
knew?
things going on
Like,
in
no,
that
no, no.
bottle.
I mean, it's
Who knew?
crazy.
Who knew?
What you got? What number? Give me
All
a
right,
number.
I'm giving you 22.
Whoa!
Wowee.
I feel like it crushed the competition. It crushed. There was just that much gap
An 11
between these
point-
rounds.
More than halfway, 11 or close to halfway gap.
I mean,
Wow.
Whew. All right, so we have the final scores in. I
Go
just got
on.
handed them from the judges.
Oh,
And the winner is
I saw them actually, the judges.
Yeah, I shook hands with them. It's cool. We have a Lion's Head, 77.
77.
Old German, 41.
Whoa!
I mean,
what a
wow,
huge-
blowout.
I mean, folks, if you're in the area, get
blowout.
yourself a case of Lion's Head. I mean, that's what
Holy-
we're saying.
Wow. I've got to ask, how did those scores change from round to round here?
Interesting.
Where
Yes.
was Lion's Head for the
Okay,
first
so
2 rounds?
Lions Head first round 74, second round 78, third round 77. She said consistent.
Pretty consistent.
Old German, however, 78 down to a 66, down to a 41.
Yeah, it
Wow.
fell off.
How he
Wow.
fell
It
off
fell
the
How
table.
the mighty fall.
It's
Now,
like the New York
I mean,
Giants.
It's all comparison based.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Any given week, you compare one to another, and they can wildly change, which is amazing.
Except that we all enjoyed the Lion's Head. I mean,
I'm still enjoying the Lion's Head right now.
Season 1, Beer Battle 2, winner, Chris with Lion's Head.
Stellar Sip.
A well-deserved stellar sip that I don't think any of us actually saw coming
I mean,
from round 1. I wasn't expecting
I really did
that.
not.
again, I've drinking a ton of Gibbons Lion's Head, all the same. I did not see this coming.
Based upon my previous experience, again, PBR or High Life were my 2 coming into this, thinking that they would be. I'm so pleasantly surprised by the Lion's Head.
I don't mean to cut you off, but
Go ahead.
There's an elephant in the room. Have you smelled what is in this rocket fuel cup?
No.
I haven't poured the Old German into it yet.
Well, go ahead and add that,
No,
Matt, because it's
okay,
not gonna.
so-
It's
So the Old German's going into the black hole, and if we haven't mentioned it before, I believe we
no.
did.
I'm fairly certain we have.
All of the black hole beers have become the rocket fuel.
I think you're gonna have to give it a stir or shake.
Elon Musk, you can put this in the Falcon Heavy and it's going to get something to Mars.
I don't know
Yikes.
if that's accurate.
Oh,
No, it's exploding
People,
on launch.
it's got a scent. It's got a scent, and it is not a good scent.
It's
as
a
these
bit
guys
like
are preparing-
skunk and vomit.
hold on, guys. I got a sound for this rocket launch. Are we ready?
No.
Yep. It's a fail.
So we don't have to drink it then?
Oh,
No.
no, you wish. No, it's going down the hatch.
even,
so,
even in my victory, I will join.
Oh
in.
well, I mean,
so
that's
for those,
You know what?
That
that
is
is just
noble.
a gentleman move right
it
there.
is. So
from
the
Chris.
ones of us that needed to drink this, Big Z, Rob, and your host Matt, crushed. Chris, winner. Here we go with the rocket fuel.
Here we go.
Go
Ladies
to hell,
and gentlemen.
Old German.
It just tastes like bad beer.
I mean, honestly, that's underwhelming.
Really, I thought it was going to be worse.
Again, so
It's not bad.
at the
Wow.
I
at the
honestly
onset
think that
when I was told
maybe-
this
Whoa,
was the
hold
thing.
on.
All
Hold
of
on.
the bad beers together might be better than
Wait a
each
minute.
bad beer by
Wait a
itself.
minute.
Yes.
Hold on. Hold on for a second. I can flavor profile this. I got Jenny Cream up front. That was the first thing that literally punched my taste buds, and it ended with Steel Reserve. Everything in the middle was heavy barley, and then
I'm gonna be honest.
I
It
will
just
still say
it just tastes like
even in its
Beer.
final Megatron form, Lion's Head's crushing this beer.
I agree with you.
Hell yeah. Well,
This is not made a Franken beer that beats the Lion's Head.
But at the same
this
time,
is super gross.
at the onset when we talked about doing this, we were like, "Oh, we're going to combine the beers.
Right,
and it's
right.
going to, King's Cup style."
Yeah.
I thought the worst
I did too.
because in
Especially
college
with
I
the-
was wholly against the King's Cup idea,
Oh.
but that's because everybody brought the most terrible cocktails to college parties.
True.
You know,
Yeah.
you got
Oh,
your,
yeah.
your Jungle Juices and you got your Everclears
Oh.
and whatever else. Some beer in there. Like, you don't mix
Do we
Jungle
have-
Juice and
No.
beer. That's
Wait a
terrible.
Wait a minute. Do we have to do a jungle juice battle?
No.
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 Do we have to?
No.
I mean, not this season.
I do want to say
I'm
this.
not gonna lie.
However,
I would like the next beer battle to be. Let's go high quality beer.
Oh,
Let's
we're
give
definitely
the people
no.
what they want.
There's nowhere to go but up right now.
well, listen,
I'm
listen,
just
my
saying.
friend. It's a booze battle, so it doesn't even have to be beer.
Well, I'd like to do the
so
beer.
I would love to do,
Bourbon? Bourbon.
We could do bourbon. We could do, beers by style. We can do an IPA battle. We can do a porter battle,
The universe is our oyster.
There will be no question. We're all later in life. We're all waiting for an MRI scan. The doctor goes through, he's reading the results. He looks at the liver and goes, that spot. And we all go, that's the rocket fuel. Okay, I know where that one came from.
I don't think that's a spot.
God.
You don't
Not
think
that
it's a
bad.
spot?
It's not that bad. Not that bad.
It's really not that bad. It really isn't.
It really isn't.
It really isn't that
It is
bad.
far less
It
bad
was
than I
more
thought.
frightening than
Yeah.
Yeah,
that
the
is
thought of it
Yeah. The
bark
was
way
terrifying.
worse
way
than
worse
the
than the
bite.
bite.
The experience.
That could speak volumes, though, to the quality of beer, that it all just meshed together
think
in a
that's the
pool
problem,
of
right?
As
mediocrity.
mediocre. Yeah.
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 It is the epitome of bad beer.
God, we could do that with the good beers too, and then what would we create? after
What
that?
would we
What
create?
will happen? After
That might be
That's-
terrible.
That could be
or
horrific.
excellent.
All right.
Yikes.
I mean, you never
Stay
know.
tuned.
Well, slap me sideways and call me Natty Daddy. What an exciting conclusion.
An exciting conclusion indeed, Stephan. Let me tell you, it was a true David and Goliath's tale today. We had Chris and the Lion's Head victorious over Big Z and the Old German.
But between that beer lineup and the Black Hole, did anyone really win today?
That's a fine point, but the Old German is definitely down in kraut. And with that, from Stephan and everyone here at BPN, I'm Chucky Roberts, reminding you to set the bar high and always buy a chair that can reach it.
Today's boozy quote comes from Hunter S. Thompson, who said, "Good people drink good beer." During this, the first season of Matt and Friends Drink the Universe, I have had the pleasure and the honor of sharing many great drinks and some very questionable ones with my great friends. I'd like to take a moment to thank everyone who joined me and helped make this season possible. Andy, Andy M, Big Z, Chris, Dan, Emma, Rob, Siobhan, The Fish, and last but certainly not least, my lovely wife, Jen. Thank you all very much. Without you, this season would not have been possible. And don't worry, dear listeners, there is more Matt and Friends Drink the Universe on the way. Season 2 coming in August of 2023, available wherever you get your podcasts from. Until then, I am your host, Matt, and I wish each and every one of you nothing but stellar sips. Please push all the buttons for us on social media. It's Matt and Friends DTU on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. That's Matt and Friends DTU. For more information, including all the places you can listen to the podcast and where to find our merch store, visit mattandfriendsdtu.com.